Good afternoon. What we're going to do today is introduce you to using an induction burner to heat plastisol for creating fishing lures. One of the advantages of an induction unit is the variable temperature settings that it will hold. Its temperature ranges anywhere from 140 degrees to 430 degrees with power levels of 1 to 10. The power level of 7 is at 320 degrees, which is what plastisol needs to be injected properly. It has to be heated up to 360 degrees approximate for the phase change, which is a power level of 8. So once again, this is an induction burner, and I'll put our heater on in a couple minutes here, and we'll show you how we heat plastisol using induction. I have now placed the easy single color plastisol heater on top of the burner. We'll turn the burner on. This is the easy on off switch. On the right hand side, the power level will come up. You have to select power level, and the fan kicks in the background, so I'll talk a little bit louder so you can hear my voice over top of the fan. Power level selection. We're going to go up to 8, which is the 360 degrees to get the plastisol started. And this is the single color unit. I have on the unit itself, this is a standard injector, standard tip that is placed on the valve body here. Surface of the cooktop will remain cool. The steel itself will begin to heat, and the heat transfers from the valve body into the injector. So you do not need to heat your injectors separately, whether it be on a separate burner. It resides right here on the unit itself, and when you're ready to inject plastic, you open the valve. When the valve is opened, you can pull the plastic into the injector, bring it over to your molds, and then inject. So this is a brief overview of the single color unit. The blue that you see right here, this is an insulation board. It protects the outside of the reservoir, which holds approximately 16 ounces of plastisol, leaving room for the expansion of plastisol, the mixing blade that goes in the top, and there's a motor that runs the pulley on the top, which runs the mixer, so you don't have to hand stir. Everything is mixed for you once you get things heated up. So that is the brief overview of the easy single color plastisol heater. The next thing I'm going to show you is how we use standard injector bodies to do two-color operation. This is a standard injector body, and the tip is removed. The tips pop off so that they can be replaced with our two-color injector that allows you to put it on the base and do two colors out of two standard nozzles. As you now can see, I've installed the mixing nozzle of the two standard injectors again. This is our mixing block. It does not need to be taken apart in between shots. It resides on the heater itself. It gets its heat transferred from the steel that is heated by the induction unit. And so both injectors are preheated when you put the plastisol in them. Therefore, the plastisol temperature stays closer to the 320 for the easy injecting. What I'd like to show you now is the easy Duo two-color plastisol heater. It has two reservoirs. Each reservoir will hold 16 ounces of plastisol. There's room left over for the plastisol expansion when it is heated. And what I'm going to do right now is this unit, I haven't turned it on yet just because there is a fan on it and it's a little bit noisy. So what I'd like to show you is what the temperature is currently of the steel and the injector. So it's 82 degrees, the aluminum's a little bit colder, 77. So at about almost 82 degrees. So we're going to turn the unit on, set our power level at 8. In 8, power level setting is 360 degrees, the temperature needed to do plastisol transformation so that to change it over. What I really want to demonstrate here, a couple of things, is how fast the steel starts to heat up with the induction method of heating. I have put the 2 injectors on, our Duo injector, standard injector bodies with a mixing tip at the base. This is where the 2 colors come together. The 2 colors are pulled out of the unit and then brought to your mold and injected in for your 2 color process. We've been on. You can already see the temperature start to rise. 122, 113. Oh, there you can see a little bit better. The induction process starts to heat things up very rapidly. So one, you're not wasting time waiting for the plastisol to get hot, and it is a very consistent heat. When it gets warmed up, there is mass of steel in this lower plate. And again, the burner does not get hot. I can put my hand on the burner, but this steel will start to heat up. Again, I can just touch it, and it's been running for maybe 30-35 seconds, somewhere in that range. So the steel heats up, holds the heat, so you get a very uniform and consistent heat for your plastisol. One of the biggest problems with injecting plastisol is keeping and maintaining the temperature. The heat is transferred from the plate to our valve to our injectors, so that these will heat up also. The injectors reside right there on the unit itself. You pull the plastic out of the reservoirs, go inject your molds. When you're done injecting your molds, if you have plastic left in the injectors, you can inject it right back into the reservoirs and it will not hurt anything. You just have to make sure you have the proper orientation as to which color is on which side, right hand or left hand. Check our temperature again. We're up to 145, 160, 170. Aluminum's a little bit colder yet. It takes a little bit to get that transferred up in there. As you can see, the temperature varies and it will climb up there quite fast. Right now I'm using an infrared temperature sensor to check the temperature of the plate. When you are injecting your plastisol, you always want to use a thermometer that sits and resides in the plastisol itself. If you are not measuring the temperature of the plastisol, and you have to know that it's 320 degrees, you may not have a good injection. For the proper viscosity of plastisol to inject, it's got to be the 320 degrees. If you're higher than that, you may get flash in your molds. If you're lower than that, you will have trouble filling your injector and then filling your molds. So this unit has a long probe on it, and the probe extends up. There's a hole in the top of the unit where it sits down, and that is where it resides on the unit, so you can measure the temperature of the plastisol as the plastisol heats up and the temperature is maintained. Once your plastisol reaches the phase change, you lower the level of the burner down to the 320 degrees, so that you are maintaining that consistent temperature. Again, the hot plate will not get warm, but the steel is. We are currently up to about 170 degrees. Yeah, 200, a little over 220, 230 right now. So that is the brief introduction on the Easy Duo 2-color Plastisol heater. What I have now is some of the baits that I've made previously. Really have a blue and a red was the 2 colors that I chose, mostly so I can show you the contrast that you do get with the 2-color Easy Duo injector unit. Standard baits. This one you can see the color on the bottom side, the more the red, the purple. Up on top. See the color on the belly gives a nice blood red appearance, and the color goes all the way through to the tail on the two color, so it's neither red nor blue on the tail itself. Both colors are equally 50-50 split down at the bottom. You can see the line going through the tail section right there. A little bit hard to see if the camera picks it up, but it's still a 50-50 split as you come all the way down to the tail. Not with a really super hard line as to where the color distinction is. The lines blend in quite well, so it's not a very distinct line. It blends in for the natural colors. And those are some of the baits that we made. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.